So it's April 22nd, 2020. It's been a while. It's been quite a bit of time has passed by since COVID has forced all wrestling to be fanless. I've watched as many promotions as I could that were live in the current era that has no fans in attendance. And I'd like to go over certain ones and what they did right and wrong, and what other companies could be doing to make things better for fans. Now that we got like a rhythm going, and it seems like they're not going to change the way they are, they're going to keep the standard format of having, like staring down at the ramp and having no fans in attendance or whatever. Maybe AEW will do something because with the wrestlers or whatever. But it is what it is there when it comes to the way the camera angle is for the event, the way it sounds, the commentators, yada yada yada. Um, it all started with Stardom. Stardom had their first show. I believe it was 2 weeks or so from when WWE did their own show, and WWE did a much worse looking version of Stardom. Stardom with their women, they had a very, very fantastic show, and it made me very hopeful for the empty arena era, at least over there in Japan, because I know how WWE does things, you know what I'm saying? But the reason why it was so good was because they not only used the things that they're doing now, like smack talking, so you can hear very clearly, which Stardom always did actually, because the audience for Stardom is usually very quiet, and you can hear a lot of smack talk. They did the same thing. They had the streamers coming in the ring. Usually, fans are the ones that throw streamers into the ring for Stardom, but in this case, it was staff. But still, the same feel as if fans are there. Ring announcer did the same thing. It felt like a regular Stardom show without the fans being there. They did everything they possibly could to make it as if fans were there, but they're not there. They were like diving out to the floor. They like all the young girls, or the young lions, if you will, like out on the floor there to catch them in the suicide dive. Same thing as when fans are there. They were fighting up in the stands, everything, beating either other up there, jumping off like exit platforms as if fans were there, but they're not really there. Did the same thing. It felt great. It was just like it was lit. Just nobody was in the empty seats there. They were throwing each other into empty seats. Normally, fans would be there to get out the way. Now, no one's there to just go all out. It was amazing. They were using the empty arena format to its fullest, and it took WWE 3 weeks to understand that. With Miz and Morrison doing their New Day and their what was the Y family? Oh yeah, the Heavy Machinery parody, by like teleporting the characters in costumes and stuff like that, to use the pre-tape format correctly. But WWE got used to it. Unfortunately, they're going back to doing live things, so more botches and less cool things. If that's what you want, I'd rather have cool things than botches. So I guess you can say goodbye to Shinsuke Nakamura speaking on the microphone, and Asuka saying more than one sentence on a microphone. We can say goodbye to that one. Yeah, the empty arena stuff has been cool if you do it right. WrestleMania, the matches I thought for WrestleMania were going to be good regardless of the fans. If fans were there, it would have been a nice little bonus, but the work in the ring was really good. The ladder match and Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. Every other match is okay, but those two matches stood out because of the intensity, the workers, the risks they were taking, good stuff. But those matches would have been good regardless. The fans didn't add anything. Maybe last year with Roman Reigns versus Baron Corbin, the fans added to it, like with the whole dispersing the crowd and getting out the way and everything like that. Fans chanting and everything. That's cool. That's cool. I think maybe Owens versus Seth Rollins would have been good too if fans were there. But more often than not, like 99, basically 95% of the card would have been good without fans. So you don't need the fans there, except the chant like holy sh, um, or you still got it, or you deserve it, or the usual stuff, man. They're not gonna change their chants, random CM Punk chants or whatever. Same old with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't need the fans there. So I saw GCW with Empty Fan Arena, just essential staff there. The week before they had fans there, like the day of the emergency shutdown thing was happening, and CDC guidelines weren't put into check. They had fans. They said fuck it, and the week after they were like, we have to bow down to you. So it was still a good show regardless. They still got their shit in. A lot of crazy stuff happening. Yeah, it felt like a regular GCW show. It's with the fans, doing stupid shit. I mean, like, the empty arena stuff makes me think that the fans are generally useless. Like it's interesting to see a fan get hit or whatever, randomly hit or whatever, or smile and run away or whatever. But the main thing is the wrestling and the story between the wrestlers in the ring or outside the ring in some cases, and not necessarily about the fans what they do. It's nice, like when New Japan like goes out there and like hugs a fan or like slaps his fan's hand or signs an autograph for them or whatever real quick. That's awesome in NJPW. They don't do that in WWE, but they don't sign autographs live for the fans on WWE. But generally, it's like a nice little bonus after the match. I would like to see a return, of course. But every now and then you can have empty arena stuff there if you make it work and it works well for the type of match it is. I'm not saying that the ladder match would have been should like deserve to be in an empty arena. No, of course not. It was just good without the fans. You didn't need the fans there. Empty arena stuff could be done. The Randy Orton Edge thing was perfect for the empty arena stuff because you can go anywhere and do anything. Of course, the Wyatt family, the Boner stuff there, that goes without saying. I'm glad that they didn't do a live match with, Undertaker, because we all know his story, you know what I'm saying? But this new era has forced more companies to do cinematic matches, per se, especially with the older talents. Or the lazy ones, like John Cena, I guess, right now, right? Anyway, so last night, Impact Wrestling held night one of Rebellion. And I watched it all the way through like I always do with Impact. And it looked like they had no issues with their CDC guidelines. There had to be like 20 people in the area at one time. I mean, like a six-man three-way tag team match. I'm like, and then like two in a row. I'm like, huh? What? So many people in there. But yeah, it was fine. Smack talking, good stuff there, good surprises. They were still taking the cool risks and everything. The action was still there. The comedy was still there. Same thing. It was awesome. It was good stuff there. And then we had Sami Callihan versus Ken Shamrock at the end. But it was also very cool to hear Kiera Hogan talk smack to Smiley Kylie Ray. Hottest flame stuff. That was very cool. I was waiting for that one. I was waiting for that. Like that smack talk from her. I was waiting for that shit. Like we can hear it nice and clear now with the empty arena. I was very pleased by that. But Sammy versus Ken Shamrock. I had a feeling they're gonna do some shit like this. They started out in the arena, 2 minutes. And then they went to the back, and it was all, and then for like 7-8 minutes, it was just pre-recorded fights. So they made Ken Shamrock wrestle live, but for like 2 minutes, and that was it. So he was in the back. So and then after that, he was just chill in the back there behind the curtain. And you can do that with this new era. You can do that, no problem. Because in the pre-COVID era per se, the fans would be like we can't see or like we want wrestling or whatever. No annoying fans to get in the way. So like you can do this stuff now and get away with it. You can have special effects, lightning, pyro go off there, no problem. You don't have to worry about fans getting in the way or whatever. You can have cinematic matches there on the screen, and yeah, you can get away with anything. So, like the empty arena, the pros and cons are that you can hear the smack talk. That's number one for me. That's number one because it enhances the storytelling with the wrestlers in the ring. The fans aren't in the way anymore, so you can like go out there and do crazy shit in the crowd of the space, if you will. The cinematic storytelling, that's great shit right there. You can, those are the main three things. The negative side is sometimes the crowd does enhance certain parts of the storyline. Like when Charlotte Flair came out on NXT before, the pre-COVID thing, and like you don't go here from the crowd when she was talking. That was great. If it was empty arena, Charlotte would just be talking to Rhea Ripley, and it would feel kind of flat. But since the crowd was there talking shit to Charlotte, and Charlotte was talking shit back to the fans, it was fun. It was much more fun. And imagine, remember that Ricochet flip? Ricochet had a special on the WWE Network recently, and he was talking about the flip he did to Velveteen Dream to spark the flame of their feud. And imagine that moment without the crowd being there. Flip, land, and silence. It was so cool with the fans going, oh! So, like, fans are important sometimes, and sometimes they're not. Can't have both, unfortunately. Maybe the Gargano and Ciampa match would have been better with the crowd and the whole betrayal thing happening at the end. But the way the match was structured with the ring being destroyed, they were going outside the ring, destroying things, I think would have been better in an empty arena. But it would have been fine if they did the betrayal in front of a big crowd and the whole crowd was going, oh! That would have been good. So, like, give and take. So some things are good. Well, we got to get used to it, per se, I guess. It's a new way of life. For the foreseeable future. Unless arenas can have seating structures that go under CDC guidelines. Like every other seat is removed. That way people are separated at all times during the event. So no more sitting next to someone. It's just separate seats. That's it for now. Black off. Tah!